திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Saint Tiru Neelakanda Yazhpannar. I am the servant of Tiru Neelakanda Yazhpannar. திருநீலகண்டத்து பாணர்க்கும் அடியேன். In ancient Tamil Nadu, the musicians were a caste by themselves and it was considered to be one of the lowest. They had a large instrument called Yazh, corresponding to modern day veena, of which there were several types. Carrying this instrument, these musicians visited the courts of princes and halls of patrons to give several musical performances, which were richly rewarded by the patrons. Usually, they toured with their wives and both gave also dance and dramatic performances. When times changed, the patrons were fast disappearing. These bands instead sang before Lord Shiva enshrined in temples. People loved their music and helped them with food and clothing and rich ornaments. Neelakanda was one such singer of Panar caste.
படையார் தருபூதர் பகடர் புரி போர்மை படையார் தருபூதர் பகடர் புரி போர்மை உடையான் உமையோடும் உடனாயிடு கங்கை உடையான் உமையோடும் உடனாயிடு கங்கை சடையார் எருக்கத்தம் புலியூர் தகு கோயில் சடையார் எருக்கத்தம் புலியூர் தகு கோயில் விடையான் அடியேத்த மேவா வினைதானே விடையான் அடியேத்த மேவா வினைதானே மேவா வினைதானே.
His wife was known as Matanga Chulamani, the crown jewel of minstrels. Together, they visited many temples and sang before the Lord there to the accompaniment of their own musical instruments. Their music in the large temple at Madurai was very pleasing to the Lord, who ordered the temple authorities to place a plank or pedestal for the Panar so that he might stand on it while singing and rest his large musical instrument on the plank to ensure that it did not get damp by contact with the damp floor and thereby deaden the melodies rising out of it. They placed for him a plank of gold and Panar stood on it and sang his delightful devotional songs. In due course, he heard of the greatness of young saint Tiru Janana Sambandar of Sirgari and went there with his wife. Sambandar welcomed him and thereafter Panar and his wife became a part of the travelling troupe of Sambandar. Sambandar was a high caste Brahmin and it is noteworthy that he never for a moment hesitated in admitting this low caste Panar into his intimate fold. He had transcended all thought of castes or class and was able to perceive in all godly men the inner spirit of service to God. In the story of Saint Neelakanda, we will see how Janana Sambandar was particularly solicitous of the welfare and accommodation of this Panar and his wife in the house of Neelakanda, and how Neelakanda, belonging to a high-class Brahmin family and a Vaidika family, had no problem in accommodating Panar and his wife in his house and he served them till they were there.
திருமலர் கொன்றை மாலை திருமலர் கொன்றை மாலை திளைக்கும் மதி சென்னி வைத்தீர் திருமலர் கொன்றை மாலை திளைக்கும் மதி சென்னி வைத்தீர் இருமலர் கண்ணி தன்னோடு திருமலர் கண்ணி தன்னோ.
The birthplace of the mother of Yazhpannar, the people of Pannar community were engaged in loose talks like the songs of Sambandar are so popular due to the music of Yazhpannar. Sambandar then sang a decade in Yazhmuri Pan. Pannar could not play this pan in his instrument as it was very intricate. Yazhpannar became very dejected that he tried to break his yard into two. Tiru Janana Sambandar stopped him and said that the song was divinely inspired and hence could not be played in yard or any other instrument, and encouraged Pannar to continue his services.
மடப்பிடியும் மட அன்னமுகல்லதோ நடை உடை மலை மகள் 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 நடையுடை மலை மகள் துணையன மகிழ்வ.
As days went by and the end of Sambandar drew near, Neelakanda Yazhpannar and his wife were some of the fortunate few who were present in Sambandar's wedding and were allowed to enter the eternal bliss through the divine effulgence which lit up the temple on the occasion. Thus, in the story of Neelakanda Yazhpannar, the musician, we also see the castelessness of the godly men. Let us pay our obeisance to this glorious musician, Tiru Neelakanda Yazhpannar Nainar. Tiruchitrambalam.
காதலாகி கசிந்து கண்ணீர் மல்கி ஓதுவார் தம்மை நன்னறிக்கு உய்ப்பது. காதலாகி கசிந்து கண்ணீர் மல்கி ஓதுவார் தம்மை நன்னறிக்கு உய்ப்பது. நன்னறிக்கு உய்ப்பது. நன்னறிக்கு உய்ப்பது வேதம் நான்கினு. வேதம் நான்கினும் மெய்ப்பொருளாவது வேதம்